What's going on, YouTube? This is BBSP. I know it's been a while and everything. Just wanted to make this video real quick and everything. Beforehand, I like to say to all my new subscribers who have recently subscribed to me, I want to, give a shout out to you, to all of you, and everything helping me make my channel grow. I know I really haven't had too many things going on this channel. I've made videos randomly. I'm not the type of guy that makes videos 24/7, being on here, bashing people, doing all types of crap, doing all types of bullshit, you got a lot of channels on YouTube that make a living off making videos, belittling and bashing people, and everything. See, I don't do that. I may critique something, I may criticize something to a T, but I don't let my personal feelings or my biases get in the way. That's just, I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm out of touch. Maybe slandering is the way of the world nowadays, but I don't get involved in that. You understand? So I wanted to make a quick observation on a couple of things regarding Shaquille O'Neal and Charles Barkley. It seems to me that you do got a lot of old heads that, in particular, are very critical of the new generation. Some of it I agree with, and some of it I disagree with. But the main people that are at the forefront of this shit, in particular, is Charles Barkley and Shaq. In particular, Shaq, the past several years, seemed like to me, and Charles Barkley as well, they may not say it, they may not say it out loud, but they say, to me, it feels like they're very insecure. You know what I'm saying? As far as like how these new generation of players, these new era players are getting shine, they're getting notoriety, they're getting adulation, and all that stuff, and they may not admit it, but there's some kind of enviness and resentment in that regard, especially Shaq. You think about Shaq, he's been picking a bone with a lot of these players recently, from his personal beef with Dwight Howard way back when the whole Superman moniker was being debated, when Dwight Howard came with the Superman moniker, and then Shaq said something about you can't have that title unless you win something, and then to this day, he's still holding a grudge on that. He's still carrying on this feud with Dwight Howard. Most recently, when the Lakers won the championship last season, he made a statement to Dwight Howard saying that, calling him a clown for celebrating the championship and everything, and calling him, soft for, basically celebrating the championship. I mean, to me, that Shaq is being very petty as fuck right now, you know what I mean? And he's not the only one. Then he had a personal beef with Kevin Durant for his move to Golden State. It wasn't as focused. It wasn't as focused because he didn't really go after Durant like that. Though he did go after JaVale McGee, you know what I mean? It's just, he made a slick comment towards him. Then fast forward to now, Rudy Gobert, he has a little jabs with Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert called him out. Then recent comments about Donovan Mitchell and everything, and James Harden. Like I said, a lot of this stuff I agree with. Some of it I agree with, and a lot of it on Shaq's part is being real petty and real insecure because of the notoriety these new era players are getting, and I don't know, man. It seemed like to me, back in the day, I used to be a Shaq fan. I still am, kind of, though some things that transpire off the court, some things I find out off the court I don't particularly agree with that's involving like us as a people he's opposed against. And for me, that was kind of a turn off for me, when it comes to Shaq. When it comes to us as people of color, he's done some things behind the scenes that are very, very questionable and shady. But that's neither here nor there. I'm just like, I don't know what's going on with Shaq, man. You know what I mean? I used to think back when the Shaq and Kobe feud was happening, that was very one-sided. It was very one-sided in regards to who was in the wrong in that. But as the year as more and more time goes on, I'm starting to think that Shaq might have played a part in that breakup. He might have played a part in that breakup in regards to the way he's petty, the way he holds grudges, and the way he nitpicks. It's just like I said before, Shaq. I don't know what's going on with this dude, man. For me, it's like he comes off as real petty and insecure, man, and to me, that's kind of weak to me, man. I mean, if you got a grudge, you're gonna critique and criticize. You're gonna critique and criticize. I mean, that's one thing, but to like attack somebody personally, that's out of line for me. You know what I mean? And if you got a personal grudge, I mean, goddamn, I mean, you shouldn't be an analyst. For me, as far as Charles Barkley goes, a lot of things he said and done is very hypocritical in regard to players leaving their original teams for greener pastures with another team. Recently he's come out and criticized LeBron James' moves, Kevin Durant's moves, calling them, they saying he's sell out, saying he quit on his team and everything, you know what I mean? And most recently, Giannis Antetokounmpo, before he signed his Supermax extension, he basically sneak this both LeBron and KD, saying that I hope Giannis doesn't be a punk and gives up on his team, runs from his team. I mean, when you think about it, like I said before and I said it again, Charles Barkley is being very hypocritical when it comes to this shit. Because for me, as long as I've been watching basketball, he's forced himself out of Philly and Phoenix. First time in Philly, he basically was like half-assing it them last couple of years with the 76ers. Basically forced his way out on the Phoenix, had a bunch of very good players and a couple All-Stars and Serge Caballos and Tom Chambers and Kevin Johnson in particular. Then he talks about he doesn't like super teams, right? And is saying it's ruining the league. It's the same guy that tried to form a super team not once, but twice. With Clyde Drexler when he went to Houston. Then 1 year later, he goes to Houston to form a big three along with Akeem Olajuwon. Now, I know people are going to say, oh, well, they're old, they were past their prime. Well, when you look at it, like, they were still put up respectable numbers, and if it weren't for no breaks here and there, they could have easily went to the NBA Finals that year. You understand? Okay? Well, when you think about it, Akeem was still Akeem somewhat, and number one. Number two, Akeem was averaging close to like maybe 24 points per game, like around, he was 24, 6, I'd say about 24, 8, 4, and 7. When you think about it, those are still elite numbers. Those are still superstar numbers. Barkley himself was averaging around maybe 22, 8, and 5. 22, 8, and 5. And even though Clyde Drexler was basically on his way out the league and it was basically still declining, he basically kind of declined. He was putting up 19, 5, and 5. So when you think about it, that in essence, that was a big three. That was a super team. And then the following year, a couple of years later, when Clyde Drexler finally calls it a career, Scottie Pippen comes down and they try to do the same thing. So for everything Charles Barkley says and criticizes these players for switching teams, he did it like 3 times. 3 times. He did it 3 times, and I just find it very hypocritical, man. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on with both these guys, man. It seemed like both these guys are very insecure, very hypocritical, very judgmental, and very petty, man, for me, because, like I said before, if that's the case, then they shouldn't be analysts. In my opinion, they shouldn't be analysts. Bottom line, because you're going to let your personal feelings get in the way of actually what's going on in the court, then, like I said before, again, they shouldn't be analysts. For me, they should not be analysts, because they're not going to call it straight, they're not going to call it down the middle, and then they're going to let the personal agendas get in the way of what actually was going on. I mean, they're not the only ones. Like I said before, you got a lot of these players from the previous era have an agenda to like tear down these players in particular to build themselves up, to build their era up. They said, back in my day we do this, or back in my era we didn't do that, or whatever, like I said before. But, you know, again, once again, feels like to me they're both very hypocritical as far as Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal is concerned, you know what I mean? Because if that's the case, then they shouldn't be analysts. They should not be analysts. They should be somewhere just watching the game, playing golf, and enjoying retirement, you know. But very few analysts these days are objective. You go find very few that are objective. I mean, Steve Smith is objective. Isaiah Thomas is objective. Grant Hill is objective. Who else? Candace Parker is objective. That's funny as it might sound, but yeah, she's pretty objective. She don't have no personal agenda or anything like that. Who else? Jason Williams, Robert Ory, Richard Jefferson. They don't have no axe to grind. They don't have no dog in this fight at all. They're a fan of the game, and they call it right down the middle from those aforementioned names I said. But like I said, Kenny Smith can be kind of objective. There kind of times you feel like he's being, you know, biased towards his area a little bit. Like I said before, for me, I just feel like if Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal are going to let their personal feelings or personal agendas get in the way, then they shouldn't be on TV being analysts. But tell me what y'all think.